Welcome to the Panda Podcast, where passion meets purpose, no matter the field. Here, we sit down with creators, athletes, entrepreneurs, musicians, doctors, and dream chasers of all kinds to dive deep into what drives them, the challenges they faced, and the mindset it takes to keep going. Because whether you're dropping into a half pipe, building a business, creating art, or grinding through med school, the journey may look different, but the lessons, the struggles, and the drive, they're the same. This podcast is about persistence, discipline, and turning passion into reality. Real stories, real passion, real grit. So if you're chasing something bigger than yourself, hit that subscribe button and let's get into it. This is the Panda Podcast. Welcome to a Missing Panda. We got another episode of Panda Podcast. Today we got Babyghost.
Hi, I'm so excited.
Yeah. We're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna find out all the cool things that she's be doing. So yeah, let's get into can you share your journey into music and what got you creating and everything like that?
Yeah, honestly, I've always been doing music. That was like the first thing that I really remember doing in general. I remember there was this girl, Gracie, in elementary school, and she was like, "Hey, my choir's having like a bring a friend day. If you want to come, I guess it's like this thing that I do that my parents make me do." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay." I went with her, and I like instantly fell in love. This was when I was 6, so she probably didn't praise it like that, but yeah, I immediately was just like, "Oh, this is what we're doing." Gracie quit like right away, and I was like, "I get to audition for this. Mom, Dad, like, please let me do this," and they were supportive. So yeah, I was just kind of like been doing it since then.
Okay, that's dope. Well, what inspires your music? Like what do you feel like has driven you and what puts your soul into it, I guess?
Honestly, these days more than ever, it's just like my friends and the people around me. For a long time, it was like I was on this classical path. I was gonna do opera. I was gonna do musical theater. I was like very just in it for the craft while also knowing that this was something that like helped me emotionally like nothing else through like the hardest times of my life. Like whenever I was going through it, I would be able to write a song about it. Um, but it always felt so like I don't know, like self-centered for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
And then once I like took a year off of school and really just like started questioning a lot about myself and about the world around me, that was when my music kind of shifted and my career goals shifted and my path shifted to where it was like, okay, I'm being inspired by like what is happening right now. And that's all that has to matter?
Gotcha. Like being more present.
Yeah, totally. Observe.
I like that. That's dope, dude. So your big tagline is like being genreless. Like you like holding on to that. What does that mean to you?
I mean, I started my solo journey as this artist called Not Your Baby Girl. And then I like really started interrogating what gender meant to me. And I was already kind of like, I don't know, I was on the fence about where I fit and like what it meant to be woman or feminine or even like adhere to a gender at all. So I in 2021, after like a lot of discomfort with my previous artist name, I switched to Babyghost. And I also started like outwardly telling people that I was not binary, that I use they them pronouns. And so that like because that shift in my solo career happened, I was kind of able to think about moving forward in a different way, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um and like I don't know, now I'm still navigating that through what I write and also through like how I present, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's been like supported by so many people who have like been there for me and have also challenged me
Yeah.
um in good and bad ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. Um Honestly, I kind of went off the rails with that one. I don't know if I
Huh?
landed your answer.
Answering is the right answer, like saying what's, authentic to you, like um getting to that real part of you is such an awesome place, and like you said, facing that challenged self is dope,
Yeah.
and being like you said, challenged by those around you and everything like that is is an interesting spot.
Yeah, and a lot of people were trying to like box me in Sonic-y as I was feeling like I was being boxed in, gender wise and presentation wise. So that overlap kind of like came to a head for me. And I was like, oh my God, I don't want to be in any sort of gender camp. I don't want to be in any sort of genre camp. Like that was the moment where it clicked and I was like, oh my gosh, I can make whatever I want.
Mhm.
Like I don't have to listen to what people are telling me on any front. Because if I'm not going to listen to what people are telling me about Donald Trump uh, saying there's two genders on his inauguration, I'm not going to listen to someone who says you have to write one genre to appeal to a certain audience.
Mhm.
Like that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like stick to what you believe all the way through and through.
Exactly.
That's dope. Yeah. Do you feel it makes you stronger as an artist being that way through and through?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
I think like uh it definitely makes me more open to trying different things, sonically. I don't think those things always work, but that's like part of the process. If everything worked, I wouldn't like if I thought everything worked, I wouldn't be a trustworthy source or like narrator. Um so yeah, sometimes.
It's it's something that I definitely like to show the congruent aspect is everybody in their success hits failure.
Mhm.
And everybody that I've come across, we all say, yo, failure happens. And yeah, it's part of it, man. Like, don't be afraid of it. Like, um, I make mistakes every day and I'm actually stoked on it. Like nowadays, like, I'm like, fuck it. I fucked up. Like, cool. Like, on to the next, man. Like, so like you saying that, like, it's proven again, like, yeah, like, let's go fuck up some more, like because then you discover more about yourself and you discover what works and what doesn't, and then you can have fun along the process.
Right.
Well, like what are some of your favorite shows that you've performed?
Um, honestly, the first one that comes to mind is Fluid Presents. They put on shows that are by and for the trans community, and the show that I played was like a house party backyard kind of vibe. Um, that was just like all good energy. Crowd was amazing. And it was put on by, like, people I knew and people that wanted to do it because they wanted to put on a show, and that's, unfortunately, like, not always the case, especially in LA. It's like people are doing shows so that they can charge artists to play, um, and this was something that was really, like, community oriented, and I loved every second of it. Um And I also had the opportunity to put on a couple shows in the last couple of years, which were so fun. I would definitely do that again. I got to play Kushstock last year. This is so crazy. That was like definitely a full circle moment because I used to go to Kushstock when I went to Redlands.
Yeah.
You know, just like as a student getting high. So being on the stage was super cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I mean, I feel like I could go on and on about like the stages that I've been allowed to be on because it's just like every single one is so crazy to me. But I'm just like excited for what's to come. I don't know.
Yeah.
You
Do,
know?
do you have like goals on like different stages that you want to perform or like that you're targeting right now? Or
I mean, right now, I'm really trying to focus on like playing more shows that make me feel like the Fluid show made me feel, which is just like community. Um, I want to put on events. I'm like really anti pay to play. So there's certain notorious spaces in LA that you won't catch me in because I'm just like so baffled by the fact that I think that they could like exploit artists in the way that they do.
yeah.
Um, so right now, trying to throw my own shows. Long term, there's like I feel like every dream venue of mine is someplace where an orchestra would be like able to thrive. Um, yeah, like I don't know. There's places that I want to see shows in too first because I don't want to be like I want to play Walt Disney Concert Hall. I want to play Madison Square Garden. I haven't even been to a show. You know, it's like I know their notoriety, but I
Yeah.
want to hear it with my own 2 years first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine though if you got set up first.
Crazy.
That'd be dope.
We gotta slow their roll.
What's some your favorite? I know it's sometimes hard, but what's your track that you're working on right now that you kind of like stoked about?
Ooh, that's hard. Ooh, I have a couple things that are like making me excited, like collabs. I have
Oh,
one collab that's coming out hopefully in March that's been in the works for years now. So I'm like really eager to have the world's receive it.
yeah.
Um my friend Vega and I have been making music. They're super cool non-binary artists and DJ and like they do a little bit of everything. Um so I have some tracks on their album that are gonna be coming out, and then they've also been helping me work on some like sad songs, which are probably my favorite story.
I have a special place in my heart for the sad stuff for sure. Actually, was last night sharing some of the sadder stuff that I enjoy, and yeah, man, like I don't know, just makes you feel good. Giving the feels makes you feel.
Weird how that works, but it's like, you know, both empowering and disheartening to know that you're not alone in feelings like that, you know?
You said it so immaculately like that. I mean that's the whole purpose of doing all this is so that people understand that they're not alone, like because within our processes is of doing whatever we're ambitious for, we do kind of find ourselves alone, like I'm sure while you're creating songs and making things, you kind of have to be alone. Like it's hard to make music with a bunch of people sometimes. I mean, yeah, sometimes you get in a collab or a cypher or something like that and you're making music, but a lot of times you have to sit down still and be alone, and it creates a lonely space. um But if other people see community amongst that and understand that they're not alone, or hear a dope song that they relate to, they can feel, yo, like I feel that. So that, yeah, your your song "Stressing," man, that one got me, yo. Like I heard that song, I was just like, oh, that was definitely a reacher for me. I was just like, so I definitely had to contribute a video edit to that one. So keep it up, yo. Um, what 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 do you think were some of the pivotal points that made you really pioneer being that authentic self for you?
Um, I think it's like, I don't know, I think about it in terms of people again, and like the first person to show me how to use a loop pedal was instrumental in my next chapter. And then the first person to give me a stage in college was instrumental um, in the next chapter. And then she was also the person that taught this riot girl class that I took senior year of college. And that was like super influential as well. I think that was another turning point where a lot kind of came together and dots connected in my head. And then, moving to LA for the first, I mean, like before I moved to LA, the first half of 2021, I was like commuting to LA from Redlands all the fucking time. It was really bad for my budget, but I was making so much music, and all of those people were influential in getting me out into the world on paper and like on Spotify for the first time. And then now like the circle that I have that I've really been able to solidify and get to know and love, those people are all artists that like constantly inspire me with every single conversation we have. So that's been like inspiring and also motivating because I know that like whatever I write, I'm gonna send to this select group of people and they're gonna be like, ah, this is great. And I'm gonna be like, okay, all right. I need to put this into the world so that it's not just in my friends' DMs. So it's all been people. It's just different eras of like meeting them.
Kind of boosting you up and everything like that.
Totally.
That's dope.
Like showing me all these little stepping stones, and being like, here, that's the next step for you
Yeah.
without saying it directly.
Have you done a lot of touring on your own?
Here and there, I mostly have played around. I've been central to obviously the Bay. Well, not obviously, I guess. Obviously to you, but
Yeah.
I grew up in the Bay, so that was where I was first performing, and that was like all choir stuff up there. That got me to do a lot of cool shit. Like my high school 12-piece choir went to Korea, like sang in South Korea. Um, and then moved to Redlands. That college choir that I was in got to do like quadrophenia tour with the Who, which was fucking crazy. At like, oh my god, that shit was wild. And that was at the Greek Theater, so that was like my little dipping my toe into LA. And that was like I hadn't seen a show at the Greek Theater before singing there, so that was something that was really mind-boggling to me. And then now, as a solo musician, I've been between Redlands and LA and also able to go back to the Bay to do shows there. So it's kind of like this weird little trifecta, I guess, of like LA, Inland Empire, Bay Area, and then just like, you know, who I know there, who I've been meeting in LA. Um, really just the more I step outside, I feel like the more opportunities present themselves because you show face and people are like, okay, I know that you're gonna come
Yeah.
because you're here now. So,
Put in the work, people know.
yeah, exactly. I want to really do I want to do both a like PNW tour and a Midwest tour because I feel like uh yeah, with the current administration and everything that's gonna happen in the next 4 years, like the Midwest for sure, I want to set foot in and like say some things that are on my mind.
Yeah.
But PNW, I just want to fucking go. So
Yeah. That'd be dope.
yeah, I hit the bay on the way up.
Absolutely. Is there like a spot that you get super pumped about going to?
In the bay, or
Just anywhere.
I mean, thousands of places I haven't been, but
Good answer. That's a great answer.
yeah, anywhere.
Yeah.
I want to travel more because there's not a whole lot of places that I've been to outside of California.
Okay.
So
Any specific place that is like on your top? You're like, oh, I absolutely like this is where I want to go next, or
in the States, like Nashville for sure. Super want to go to New Orleans. Um, outside the States, Scotland and Japan. Yeah, anywhere in Japan, really. And back to South Korea, like now that my prefrontal cortex is developed, because that shit was like really cool. Um, I would love to actually spend more time there.
that's dope. That is dope. Japan's cool for sure. What theme or message do you have like a certain thing that you always try to put in your music, or do you just kind of like go with whatever you feel in that moment?
I go with whatever, but there's definitely common themes that like I've noticed now after a few years of like writing Babyghost solo music.
Mhm.
Um, always Love and Loss, because I'm always thinking about how those two interact with each other.
Mhm.
A lot of familial stuff, uh, and then also just like bodily autonomy, and then religion as well. I was raised Catholic, so I definitely write about my experiences with that a lot,
Yeah.
both directly and indirectly.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't mean to keep writing about all of these things, but I've definitely noticed like, oh wait, this keeps coming up.
Yeah. I keep putting this stuff in there. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I don't necessarily try to fight it because if it's supposed to be there, it's supposed to be there.
If it pours out, just let it pour, like just let the music like happen organically, right?
Yeah.
Um, speaking of like letting it like happen organically, like how does your process of making music happen? Like what do you like?
Yeah. Um, I am always like, I don't know, I'm always writing little notes and stuff on my phone and like down in my journal and stuff. Um, so sometimes it'll stem from the writing, but I have a hard time writing music without the music. I don't necessarily try to like skeletize, is that a word? Is like skeletize a song with the instrumentation.
You.
Um, but I do try to like play along with what I'm writing
Yeah.
in real time just so that I have a better idea of how it's gonna go and how I'm gonna map out the song. Um but sometimes like if I don't have access to the piano or the guitar or whatever, like I'll just or it's like 3 in the morning and I've just woken up from a crazy dream, I'll just write it in my notes and try to like think of the meter in my head and be like, all right, this makes sense with it. And then I'll try it with the piano the next day.
Yeah.
Like, see if it actually works like I thought it did in my head.
Yeah.
Or I'm just tripping. But
So what instruments do you play?
I play piano, saxophone, like a little guitar, I guess.
Yeah.
Trying to learn to be better. Loop pedal.
A loop pedal.
Yeah, like the voice is my instrument, so
That's dope.
the loop pedal made sense because I could just be a choir on my own and just sing.
That's sick.
Back it up. That's all I have to do is just sing. Sometimes do a little beatbox, but
That's
nothing
dope.
crazy.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Did you teach yourself guitar? Or?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I still am learning, but
And we're forever learning, so.
yeah. I obviously know like no bar chords, but I don't practice enough to have the dexterity to actually play guitar.
Gotcha.
Like I'm really just dicking around, but yeah, I will put in the hours and then I'll get there.
Yeah.
But nothing comes like easily when it comes to music. Like you have to do the work, you know? And the feelings come easily, but like the craft, you know.
Have to put in the work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you say is the biggest challenge? Because you obviously make your own thing and you're out of the box type deal. What do you say are some of the biggest challenges of being your own? You know?
I mean, just sticking to it, having the, I guess, discipline to continue pushing boundaries. Having the willingness to be scared. I had a friend say to me recently that you have to be scared so that you can be brave. Like you can't be brave if you're not scared. And I've been thinking about it since. And I think that's the hardest thing is just telling yourself and actually believing and acting through that notion of like, okay, being brave is being scared. Like that's the whole fucking point. So I don't know, like really embodying that has been something that I'm trying to do, but it's tough. And like I can do little things about it that are easier, like going out looking like this. You know, people, the lady on the street earlier was like she was aghast. She was so shocked at my appearance, but it's that I can handle, you know? Um, Showing up in like action and in protest, that I can handle. Uh, I guess just like real raw vulnerability at all times and true like unfiltered honesty, that's something that I can't always handle and that I don't always handle. Um, so that's hard. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, life's learning, and like you said, understanding that being scared and brave aspect, um, the being scared, I feel like we're adrenaline junkies, and being scared hits that adrenaline, and so it's like for those that are like brave, it's like we're just actually like addicted to that oh, we're actually not, we're just fighting that scared, and it's hitting like that adrenaline, and we're just like fighting it, and so it's kind of like no, we're afraid of shit, and we're good at just fighting it all the time, and it's just we're constantly fighting it, and we're just like overcoming all the time, like the idea of getting up on stage is a battle that we overcome, because like you're nervous every single time. I don't care how many times you perform. right before you get up, you're like, are the lights right? Did I remember my lyrics? Am I good to forget? Are people gonna like me? Like, I don't care how many times you've done it, you still go through that anxiety every single time you get up there.
Yeah.
But then you overcome it because like you're saying, you're scared, and then you overcome it, and that's the bravery that is there. And then you get up there, and then it's like that proud moment, and then the energy exchange, and
Yeah.
then it's beautiful. I think one of my favorite movies that depicted it was Get 'Em to the Greek,
Oh, yeah.
when Russell Brand was like all broken up and just beat to shit, and he was just like, man, this is what I live for. I was just like it hit me. Like, it hit me. I was like, damn, dude. No, for real though. Like there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it, man. Like, this is what I live for. Like, and finally getting the opportunity to start getting back into performing and everything like that was monumental for personally me. But like, I'm sure you feel the same. Like, being up there and all the opportunities that you've gotten, and seeing how much you're growing as an artist is dope. And so like, yeah, that's cool that you shared also not just the big stuff, but the personal aspect, being vulnerable with people and exposing that transparency though is gonna allow people to grow around you, like, and that closeness stuff. It's cool. So,
So,
oh yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, it's all a work in progress. We're always working on ourselves and growing. Like,
of course, yeah.
like being authentic and growing yourself as an artist and facing challenges. What do you think you do, or how do you think you encourage yourself to grow? Like, what do you think are some of the methods that you're like, all right, this is how I can help myself grow?
Um, sh- just like showing up, showing up to the shows, showing up to the jam sesh, showing up to my friend's house to make art or music, and then s- being again like observant, like paying attention to what's around me and writing it down and carving space to write. I need to push myself to do these things sometimes, but it's always worth it. Um, and it's okay to have the moment of like unalignment and discomfort and like despair sometimes, but um then there's the forcing yourself to do what is going to work and the remedies that are tried and true and are gonna push you forward artistically, personally, creatively. Um so I just try to really like be uh present and aware of what's going on internally, and that helps with my communications within like my art and within like my relationships and stuff.
So, knowing that there's definitely a balance of push and pull of, okay, I got to stick to methods, but the process is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay, I can stick to tried and true, but I have to get out of my comfort zone. Like, you have to understand the push and pull. Like, okay, yeah, because some people are like, nah, I got to stick to this works every time, every single time. No, no, like, in order to grow, it's an uncomfortable process. So by you showing that, yeah, like that's how that's why you're growing so much. Like, you're growing so fast. Like, it's because it's a push, it's a give and take. Like, you have to get out of your comfort zone. Like, and it's awesome. You say art.
I was like, where's that coming from?
um you say art. What are, like, do you have other
art forms, like other mediums? Like, do you paint or anything like that? Or
I make zines. I've been making a lot of zines, which are like little mini magazine kind of things, but they're DIY. They have their roots in the punk scene, and a mini zine is literally just one 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that you fold and then you cut, and you can fold it down and it makes the little tiny book. So I've been making a lot of zines recently that are mostly like poetry and collage based. I would definitely say like my main art forms are music, collage slash mixed media art, and then writing as well. Uh Writing probably sits right under music or next to it,
I
like in tandem. But I also do a bunch of other random shit, make jewelry and paint and uh, I don't know, anything really that I want to do. I just try to do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. What you said jewelry? Like, what type of jewelry do you like to do?
Just like I've made a bunch of random earrings and stuff. Like I was selling lighter earrings as merch for a while that I had made, and they're literally like functional lighters and they have like Babyghost sigil on them. But you can't ship those. So, it was kind of short-lived, but that was fun. There are people who still have the Babyghost lighter earrings
Yeah.
and the Babyghost cigarette earrings, which they're really fun too.
That's pretty dope. That's tight.
Yeah.
Is it cool to kind of see all those like random crafts still around? Like,
Yeah, like there's shit that there's a lot of one-of-ones that I've made for merch. Like when I first got started, everything that I made was hand painted. A lot of it still is, but I have like printed shirts now. I have like larger runs or whatever,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's people who have painted shirts that I forgot that I even made, and I'll see on their story one day and just be like, "Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope, bro. Where'd you get that?"
Yeah. How does that make you feel like when you see somebody like,
Oh my god, it's crazy.
yeah,
It's crazy. I can't articulate it really
yeah,
because it's such a wild blend of emotions, you
yeah,
know? I'm like just baffled by it in the best way because I'm like, damn, y'all really fuck with me?
yeah.
Oh my god. You know my name? That's crazy. And it'll be like my best friend from way back when
Yeah.
who I gave a shirt to for free,
Yeah.
and it'll
Yeah.
be like, whoa, you wear my shirt, dude. But I mean, it's all exciting, you know?
Yeah. How does it make you feel watching your fan bases grow and everything like that?
It's cool. It's cool. I, have been really in awe of the landscape of social media and how that's changed over the past few years.
Mhm.
Especially with TikTok, like so many people found my music through that. Um, it's just like the most random little connections, like gender envy. I owe its success to TikTok. Take Our Time. I owe its success to this random girl that I messaged from Spotify. I like found her on Instagram and I was like, "Hey, is there any chance that this is your Spotify playlist? If it is, I would love to be on it." And she was like, "Yeah, it is. I'll add you." And like that song's coming up on 10K plays solely because of this random interaction that I
Yeah.
just like was like, "Fuck it. All right, let's do it." So trying to do more stuff like that because she also lives in LA and is someone that like I'm gonna go meet up with IRL and hopefully catch one of her comedy shows. And like that's the kind of growth that I want, is like people that I can see and like interact with and have this connection with and that genuinely believe in my music and like what I'm creating. Um and I hope I think by being in LA that's definitely helped that just cuz by going out you meet so many people.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that that continues beyond LA, wherever I want to go. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't care if I have 2 listeners or 200,000, I'm just stoked that somebody is fucking with me.
Yeah.
Like, it could be my grandma. I'm so excited.
That's the essence of it.
Actually, I don't think I want my grandma to listen to my music.
Let's be real now.
Wait.
Roll it back.
Hold on.
That's dope. Well, I mean, do you got anything cool else that you want to add to, or like?
Got some shows coming up in February.
Yeah.
Can't quite talk about yet, but
Yeah. You excited about them?
and yeah, I'm super excited. I'm like have been itching to get back on stage and plan stuff and just make music for people in a setting where we can drink beer, and it's gonna be great. I'm really excited.
That's sick, yeah. Well, so how do we find you?
Babyghost music on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube is Babyghost Vivo. Is it Babyghost Music Vivo or Babyghost Vivo? I think it's Babyghost Vivo.
Cool. We'll put the links down.
Yeah. Spotify, Babyghost. One word. Babyghost. Even though I always do like BG, it is one word. People get very confused, but it's one word. Not multiple pronouns, but like plural pronouns. Singular ghost.
Ooh, I like it. I like that
Exactly.
tag.
Let's see what this is about.
I like
Not the
that.
show.
I like it. I like it.
Whatever I just said, that's the new one.
I like it. Let's keep it. Rewind.
Yeah,
Let's put
yeah.
that down. All right, cool. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure. Yeah. We'll put this out and, the world's going to get down. We look forward to seeing you at all the crazy shows and probably have another episode later on too. So thank you guys for joining on Missing Panda and Babyghost. You guys have a good one. See you at the next episode. Later.
Nails at my throat and you call me the